Hey everybody, and welcome to the end of our day 13 of the Legends of Novus Kickstarter campaign. For those of you who happen to join today, thank you very much. And as always, for those of you who have been here since the very beginning, we certainly appreciate your support bringing Legends of Novus to the world. Today, I'm not going to talk too much about the campaign, rather quiet weekend. A few things going on this week that should add some energy to what's going on. So today we're going to just talk about encounters. So the encounter deck is where you're going to fight all the common creatures of the world. And those creatures will help you build the experience that you need. They'll give you rewards and they will give you gold that will allow you to overcome the quest creatures later on in your travels. So for the encounter creatures, there's 5 basic types that you're going to face in the world. And you may face these when you travel through encounters with the travel dice. You may face these through random encounters when you explore and you draw the top card of the adventure deck. And you may face these when you explore and choose to play an encounter deck from your hand, which doesn't happen as frequently, but it is a way to force combat. And then, of course, there's the option of exploring on those locations that we talked about a few episodes ago, where you can explore the encounter locations. So as we go into it, the first type of creature type I want to describe are humanoids. So humanoids could range anywhere from a human to orcs to goblins, and these humanoids are probably the easiest creatures to defeat in Novus. They're the most commonplace. So particularly the goblin. The goblin has the weakest attack power in the game. They're a 0 attack power, and they don't give you a whole lot. They give you 10 gold pieces if you win. But it's good to have some really weak creatures in the game to help you in that early part to just try to gain some early gold, or you can fight the other creatures kind of like the Orc Warrior. So Orc Warrior a little bit stronger than the Goblin, but he does give you a reward. And again, both of these really fantastic art by Andrea Butera, and you can expect the entire encounter deck to be done as art by him. Other creatures you might fight include the Assassin or the Oxen, which is kind of like a Minotaur-esque type of creature in Novus. And none of these creatures existed before the Maelstrom. So when it comes to the history of Novus, the orcs, the goblins, or actually the Oxen were there before, but some of these creatures didn't exist before the Maelstrom, and so they're new, and the population of Novus doesn't know how to deal with them. So it's things that you'll read about a little bit more in the art book if you get to that point, but those are humanoids. Next type of creature is animals. So of course animals have not always been on Novus, but animals have taken a turn to the dark side. So whether it's getting more fierce, such as the savage bears, or like the feral wolf here, they've grown giant spines on their backs, or become much more territorial and aggressive towards the human race, or grown massive like this giant spider. So again, the creatures never used to be this big and dangerous in Novus until the Maelstrom struck and caused the entire ecosystem to change. So creatures are druids gain a bonus against this type of creature, and you'll find these automatically in the dark woods of Vey. So that's creature type number 2. The third creature type are undead. And undead, I'm sure you've seen in any type of fantasy setting. Creatures come back to life, or in famous TV shows like The Walking Dead have the zombies, or walkers. But the undead roam all across the world, but the rumor is that Kismatic the Lich Lord is the one that brought these guys to life to begin with, and he continues to make that happen. So that's why Chandril's quest is to destroy the creator of them all. But either way, the zombies are actually, or the undead are actually another one of the easier creatures to defeat. The only more powerful undead is the ghoul, which is a demon / undead. And again, that's another awesome piece there by Andrea. It's a skeleton art there. The fourth creature type I have to share with you is demons. So demons, of course, never existed on Novus before as well, and they've taken over the northern mountain range over by Exire there. And in the lead demon, Asmakai, he continues to gate in smaller demons each and every day, and that's why he's such a giant threat to the world, because if he brings in a large enough army, they could take over the world and wipe out every city that exists. And Cain's mission is to stop that. Well, everybody's mission would be to stop that, but Cain in particular has a desire to slay Asmachai. And most of the demons fly, and they have powers that are a little bit stronger than your animals or your undead, because they are innately more powerful in that regard. So that is the undead. And then last but not least, we have magical creatures. So magical creatures, again, could be anywhere on Novus. These are never existed before in the world, and they're even more powerful than the demons because they're purely based on the magic that came to the world. Whether it's the roaming Cyclops with art by Andrea there, some temporary art here for the Manticore, but that'll get replaced, and the Stone Sentinel or Nature's Nemesis, those giant animations of Earth itself are what the magical creatures are. And again, those are the most dangerous regular encounters in the encounter deck. So as you escalate, humanoids are the weakest, animals the second weakest, followed by undead, followed by demons, followed by actual magical creatures. And then the most powerful creatures of all are monstrosities, which are what most of the quest creatures are. And because those are just immense forms that are a combination of animal or magical or undead or all the different types that we have out there. And more creature types could come. If Legends of Novus became a successful tabletop game and we decided to expand into different formats or different areas of the world or below the world, or all kinds of things could happen if Novus becomes successfully funded and we see some good results with the initial game. There's so much room to explore when it comes to fantasy settings, and I've been involved with fantasy settings for the last 25 years of my life, and love the creation that this world could become. So thank you for joining it, and hopefully you like some of the art. I'm going to flash some of it bigger on the screen, of course, because showing the cards in sleeves in particular never does justify it quite as well as seeing the actual digital image. So I'll make sure I pop that up on the screen and share that with you. So thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.